All right, y'all. I'm here, and I just wanted to holler at y'all, man. Do a live stream. Um, I didn't shave, so y'all gotta just deal with me because I didn't shave today. I had to go do some blood work at the doctor's, man. So I ran out of the house, and then I came over here to work, and I've been working, setting up a business situation. So this is the first time I had to saw a little bit of the attorney, and then had to get back over here. But I said I'm gonna do a little live stream because I know y'all noticed that I was on a live stream with a with a man that was telling black women that they need to leave black men alone and just never don't do business with them, don't mate with them, don't do nothing, right? And I said, okay, I could deal with that. I could understand. But how I ended up getting on the live stream was um, I heard him saying some things that was incorrect about black men as in general. So I decided what I was going to do is I was going to correct it. So in correcting it, they pulled me in to uh, they pulled me into the beef that they had with black men. Right? It was all over Young Pharaoh. You guys saw the video. I mean, well, the ones of you that saw the video, you saw the video where it was just me going in, trying to correct the brother, and his whole thing was, why did Young Pharaoh dump his dark skinned black girlfriend for a quote unquote white woman? And uh, at some point they expected me to be able to answer that question, so I couldn't. I mean, obviously, they knew what they were doing because they asked me a question that they know I couldn't answer, but they wanted to beat up on somebody. So I walked into that situation again. I walked into it not knowing what the whole thing was about, just hearing lies and wanting to get on and correct the lies. So my problem is a lot of times I think people are like me, and that's where I go wrong. See, me, truth trumps everything with me. Truth trumps family. Truth trumps, groups. Truth trumps cliques. Truth trumps money. Truth trumps everything. To me, that's how I am. That's how I was raised. So the truth is what we actually searching for. But ooh, I got something I know. I can cut some of these nose. Anyway, uh, truth trumps everything. Truth trumps everything. So, uh, unfortunately, unfortunately, everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of these people are not. Truth is not what they about, especially a lot of these people. So let me set the stage of what was going on the day before yesterday when I got caught up in that situation. So it was a gentleman, a brother, a black brother. He was a homosexual. Okay, and the only reason why I'm bringing that up is to say that they gave him an escape hatch because he was claiming, he was telling them don't mess with black men, yet he's a black man. So if they listening to him, then why are they not leaving him alone? If they really following his advice, they shouldn't even be listening to him, right? This is logic, right? He's a black man. He's telling you as a black man to leave black men alone. Then he's a black man. You should be leaving him alone. You shouldn't even be on his channel, right? Right? But wasn't like that. Wasn't like that. So therefore, they either, well, there's two possibilities. Either they're too unintelligent to understand what he's saying and follow it, or they just don't respect him enough to follow his own advice and push him out the way. So either way, either way, it's a bad situation. And I should have recognized that when I got on the live stream. Anyway, I'm setting something up because the the title of this live stream is Survival versus Reproduction. The title of this live stream is Survival over Reproduction. So anyway, I'm setting it up. So anyway, I'm on the live stream with the brother, and the brother was telling the black women, hey, leave black men alone, whatever, right? Which is cool. But I see my problem is, like I said, I think everybody, truth trumps everything. For me, truth trumps everything. If I was saying something, somebody came on my live stream and said, hey, what you're saying is incorrect, this is the truth, I'd have to submit to the truth. But I realize everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that. So anyway, I'm on a live stream, and we were just, me and another young brother was hitting them with truth, but they was not accepting it. Now this is a group of black women led by a homosexual black man, and they were just not accepting it. They was flipping the situation. It was so bad. It was so bad. Me and the young brother, we couldn't even, but we were thinking, hey, at some point logic will hit them. At some point logic will hit them, and then boom, it'll happen. Well, it didn't. So I got stuck out there. So anyway, make a long story even shorter, I was out there with these people, and then at certain point, they said, I said to them, winter is not coming, it's here. I told them, winter is here. And so the brother said, well, what do you mean by that? What do you exactly mean by winter is here? And I said, well, winter is here because look at the situation. And I said, we're gonna need each other because the winter's coming. And winter's coming, winter's here. And to get through it, we're gonna need each other. So the brother said, well, what do you think is gonna happen? I said, the resources are gonna be cut off, and they are being cut off. Resources are being cut off. The coronavirus showed you a little bit of what's gonna happen when it really get bad. See, you here in America, man, you ain't seen it bad. You ain't really seen it bad. I told you in that other video, you need to study World War II and what the Germans did to the Polish, what the Germans did to the Jews, what the Germans did, what the Russians did to the Germans. I mean, man, they was all, the Germans, the ones that started it. And once they went through every place, taking everything and ripping taking all of the resources and raping everybody, hey, the Russians was like, okay, we got you. We coming back with a vengeance. And the Russians came back on like a banshee. Because it was so bad what the Russians was doing that the German government was recommending, and a lot of them did do it. The German government recommended that they commit suicide. They said that's how bad the Russians was gonna come at them. If you alive, you're gonna wish you was dead, because they're gonna do you that way. And so a lot of them suicide themselves because they didn't want to get caught up in the Russian, in the Russian aftermath, right? Anyway, let's move on to survival versus reproduction. Okay. So anyway, I was setting it up. So anyway, I was telling them, and so they said, oh, well, we ain't gonna need each other. We don't need each other. We don't need each other because this and I said, we would definitely need each other just mathematically. Now, let me clarify what I was saying here on my live stream, because none of them suckers could stop me from talking on my live stream. So, because he kept cutting us off and cutting our mics off and stuff like that. So he can't do that to me. You can't do that to me on my live stream. So anyway, the brother asked me, well, what do you think is coming? I said, a crunch on the resources. A crunch on the resources. It's not coming. It's here. You saw it in 2020 when You had runs at Costco. You had people was running all over the place just to buy toilet paper. That's just toilet paper. Ain't no, man, when it get real bad, ain't nobody gonna be buying no toilet paper. They're gonna be trying to buy food. They're gonna be trying to buy water. People gonna be spending $10. See, you ain't seen it bad, man. When you gonna go to China, when you spend $10 for a loaf of bread, people gonna, man, food is gonna go bananas. It's gonna skyrocket. But you see, you ain't seen it yet. They're doing little by little by little by little. And if you ain't prepared, you ain't getting your stuff together, man. You and how do you get prepared? You're gonna have to. Unity is gonna have to be the order of the day, whether it's marriage, whether it's long-term commitment, whether it's group, group togetherness, something where you have to be unified with a group or a tribe. You're gonna have to do it. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be an option for especially women. Especially women. Just like in Germany, they said, "Hey, you got daughters, kill them. You got to kill your daughters in mercy. From if you got mercy for them, you gonna kill them, because if you leave them alive, man, the Russians gonna run through them so bad." That's what the German government was telling these people. Wait till see you in America. You've been protected. You ain't never had to worry about nobody. You could see anybody coming from every direction. So you ain't never had to worry about a sneak attack. You ain't got to worry about that. Your most sneak attack you got to worry about now is a cyber attack. But that's coming. Where they shut everything down. That's coming. But man, check this out. You're gonna need, if you're a woman, in my opinion, let me say it this way. In my opinion, if you want to survive, you're going to have to find a man or a group to attach yourself to so that you can survive and flourish. Because at one point, survival is going to be the issue. Survival will be the issue, but flourishing is going to be the issue. Surviving, flourishing will be an issue later, but surviving. See, right now you trying to flourish, right? Especially a lot of black women. The ones I was on that live stream with, their thing was, hey, you ain't flourishing. You need to flourish. Okay. Let me tell you something, man. If you go out here and you talk to women and well, put like this: if you go on a live stream, let me say that if you go on a live stream and you're talking to people and you are trying to present solutions and they don't want to hear you, they don't want your solutions. They don't want to be have a solution happen. See, I didn't recognize that yet with the other day when I was on that live stream. That was a bunch of hurt people that want to stay hurt. Okay, they want to stay hurt. They don't want to even try or take responsibility for the type of people. So they were talking about how bad black men were. I said, well, that's a function of the type of men you're picking. If your love life has all these bumps in it, that is a function of the type of guys that you're picking. Same thing with men. You have all these problems in your love life. It's a function of the type of women you picking to try to go out with. So take responsibility for it. Don't sit back and say, if I pick all black women and all they want to do is twerk in a restaurant on the table, and then they want to yell at this the owner of the restaurant like he's crazy. Those type of women I'm picking, then there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. If I'm picking women that creating drama for me in my life, there's something wrong with me. And I need to address whatever it is that's in me that's got me attracted to people like that, or got those kind of people attracted to me. I need to address that. See, but when we as black people, a lot of us, we don't want to address nothing, man. Men and women, men and women. What we want to do is just, it's easier, it's easier to not blame myself and to say all black women are evil. That's easier. See, because I don't have to take responsibility for the part I played in picking a woman that tore my life apart. Same thing with the women. All black men ain't no good. You need to divest or die. Let me tell you something. Anybody saying divest or die, have at it. Please don't die. Divest. If you can find somebody that's willing to deal with you, have at it. Because if you feel like divesting is the best thing for you, then we don't need you anyway. Good luck. You gonna be an anchor on around whoever you attach yourself to, Nick, not ours. We don't. I mean, we all hurt. We all been traumatized. We all got things. We all got a story. We all got a story. We all could tell a story, man, and make everybody cry. The thing is, what are you gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? Are we gonna sit back and just be like, oh well, I'm gonna sit in this until there ain't nobody coming. Prince Charming ain't coming. You got to save yourself. This is the real world. You ain't Rapunzel. Ain't nobody gonna climb up your hair, climb up to no balcony to come get you. This is for real world, man. You're gonna have to come down and meet somebody down on the ground. It's too much going on, man, for people to try to, man, everybody is trying to live their life and be better people. You need to go save yourself. I'm trying to save me. How I'm gonna save you when I haven't even saved myself yet? So you need to recognize when you're dealing with broke people. I didn't recognize that the other day, but now I do. After a couple of days of thinking about it, I recognize it now. Now I can say, oh, okay, I see. These people are hurt, and they just looking for somebody to swing at. And I was the person that they felt like they could take a good swing at, and they did. And I mean, it's all good. I mean, I'm tougher than all of them put together. There's nothing they could do or say to me that would have me all crazy. That would razzle dazzle me. But but it was just the fact that they was not allowing me to speak. I don't like that. I don't like when people try to suppress the truth. Right? They got a saying. Justice stands afar off. Why? Because truth is laying down in the street. Truth is in the street. They done knocked truth in the head and pushed him in the street. He's laying down in the gutter because the people don't want truth. And they don't want justice. So without truth, justice has to stand afar off. Justice stands afar off. But the people don't. But see, what I realize is most people don't want justice. They don't. They want their own little reality that they putting together. And then when it busts apart on them, then they say, oh man, it's the white man, it's black women, it's black men, it's somebody, it's God, it's the devil, it's somebody. Instead of it's them, it's you. It's you. I'm gonna say it straight out. If your life is effed up, it's you. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. The only people we can excuse is people that have been wrongly convicted and that are in prison. Other than that, if your life is messed up, it's you. It's you. You the one that did it. You picked the people. You picked this woman. You knew she had a bad attitude, and you made it with her. You had children with her, and now she gave that bad attitude to your children. Now all your children got bad attitude. She got bad attitude. Your whole family got a bad attitude. It's your fault. It's my fault. It's our fault for picking these people. It's our fault. It's not the person. They let you know up front. Most of them. Most people gonna let you know up front the kind of person they are. And you know what? Let's tell you something, man. I don't care if nobody don't listen to me. Because what you won't be able to say is, man, nobody said nothing. Nobody told me. Now, here I am telling you, one crying out in the wilderness. I'm crying out in the wilderness, man, of America. America's a wilderness. People wild, man. People are wild in America. So anyway, I was telling y'all before y'all go out here and get on these live streams with these, especially those type of women. I say, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't insult your intelligence by trying to go on those live streams with with gay dudes sticking up for telling black women to leave black women alone, black men alone, and then the women are so stupid they don't realize this is a man telling you to leave men alone. You should be leaving him alone, right? If you following his logic, you should be leaving him alone, right? So even him, right? He's a man. He should be in. But anyway, they don't follow logic, man. They just hurt people, and hopefully they find their healing at some point. But they're not looking for it, so that's why they can't find it. They're not looking for healing. They hurt people and they want to hurt other people, and that's what they want to do, man. Unfortunately, man. And so we got to lead those of us that got stuff to do. We trying to help people and put their lives, help people put their life back on track. Leave those people alone, man. There's no reasoning with them. They're unreasonable, and so there ain't no point in reasoning with people that's unreasonable. You wasting your time. I did, but it was good to show that's so we can see a working example of what not to do. I show you a working example what not to do. Anyway, survival or reproduction? Survival or reproduction? When the ish hits the fan, which one are you gonna choose? Which one are you gonna choose? See, now let's do both sides. Let's do what women would choose, what a woman would choose, and what a man would choose. Which one would? Well, let me start with the men. Which one would a man choose? If he's hungry and he's horny at the same time, which one will he choose? A good hot meal or a sexual encounter? Which one would he choose? I'm going to say the average man that is starving and hungry will probably choose the hot meal. He'll probably choose the hot meal over the reproduction. Once his belly is full, once his needs are met, his survival needs are met, he may start considering reproducing. But while he's trying to just survive, reproduction is probably not going to be a thought of his. Or if he has a choice of both, he's probably going to choose survival over reproduction. Now, I said that yesterday, or I said in the last video that that's what it's going to come down to: survival or reproduction. Men bring survival to the table. Women bring reproduction to the table. That's it. That's it. Period. Period. The only reason why women are working is because men have been shown and understand that women, it's not a bad thing to have women working in the work environment, and they will pass laws to help women get into the work environment. Men could do all of this stuff without women. We could do all of these jobs without women. Could women do all of our jobs without us? No, I don't think so. So women need men for survival. Or men bring survival to the table. A man can hunt, a man can fish, and I'm not saying women can't hunt and fish, But I'm saying men are just better equipped to do it. They hunt, better hunters, better fishermen, and we just been doing it longer. And we could take care, we could do it better, and feed a community better. Whereas a women could not do that. A women will probably feed one woman or one kid or one child or two or three children, but they wouldn't be able to hunt every day. You know, they're just not set up to do that. I mean, I'm just talking the truth, man. I'm sure that most there's going to be one or two women. See, my father took me out into the woods and I shot a gun every day. Okay, you're that one exception to the rule, but I'm saying the majority of women, just like when I was talking to them yesterday, oh, we don't need men. Really? You don't need men? Because you think see, this is what I was trying to tell them. You think America is too big to fail. It's not. It's not. God could clap his hands, boom, and America be gone. America's here because he got mercy on you. He don't want you to go through what the Polish people went through. Like I said, the Polish people went through in Germany when the Germans went through there and just took all of their horses, their cows, the milk, the hay, the fruit, everything. They took everything from the Polish people. They didn't have nothing. They were literally dying in the streets. Literally dying in the streets. It got so bad for the Polish people, they were eating each other. Mothers had to pick the child that's the sickest so they could cook it, kill it, cook it, and feed it to the other children. So you think that can't happen in America here. Oh, it can't? It can't happen here, huh? Oh no, it can't happen here. Oh no, it's just will never happen here. Oh, remember the Jews? The Jews was in Germany. They said this man Hitler is going around talking about killing Jews and exterminating Jews and getting rid of the deaf and the blind and getting rid of the homeless. Hitler had a homeless cleanup program. Yeah, get your ass in that oven. Right? He cleaned up Germany for real. For real, right? But Hitler, he had a program. Okay, I must have said a bad word because I see some stuff popping up here. Anyway, Germany had a bad word. I mean, Germany had a program, and they jumped on the Jewish people, right? Jewish people they had fine homes, they had money, they had these churches, they had all this stuff. The Jews had all this stuff, man. 1 minute, the Germans came through, boom, that stuff was gone. That stuff was gone. Them people was they had everything. But what's the point? What's the point of what I'm saying? They never thought. See, the Jewish people was like, man, this dude Adolf Hitler, he's going to run around town talking about how, you know, everybody needs to be exterminated. Man, he's crazy, man. He'll never get in office. He'll never be in the. He's too radical. He'll never be in power. He's too radical. What happened? They ended up handing Hitler the keys to the car. He ended up getting so much support. They handed him the keys to the car. And what was one of the first things he did? He swooped down on the Jews like a bad habit. They took their jewelry, they took their money in the bank accounts, they took their homes. They took their businesses. They took their property. They took everything from them. See, it was just in the blink of an eye. Boom. Blink of an eye. The Jews that had enough sense to realize, hey man, it's getting bad. I got to go. They left. But the other ones, man, poor people, man, they just they thought it would never get that bad. And that's what a lot of black women remind me of, man. They think it would never get, they think America would never get that bad. And it may. It's coming. You may not see it in your lifetime, or we may. You got a little glimpse of it when the coronavirus came. And then survival was the issue. Not reproduction, survival. Now it's not about do you got the money. Can you walk out the store with the items? That's what the situation is. It ain't about whether you got the money. You got a limited thing you can do, and can you walk out with that? People buying 50 things of toilet paper. Tell you something, man. Toilet paper gonna be the last thing on your mind when it get that bad. Toilet paper, and we already here, but see, you can't see it. You can see it more because this coronavirus is opening. See, it's making them have to address it. You got to address it now. You got jobs. You got the first time in America, you got jobs, and people don't want them. People say I can make more money sitting at home getting a check from the government than I could going on a job. Jobs only paying me $100, $200 a week. The government paying me $600 to stay at home. Why am I going to go back and live under the poverty line? Survival versus reproduction. People don't want to just survive anymore. They want to flourish. But we're not at the flourishing point. We're at the survival point. For most people, it's about survival. You want to reproduce? Really? Who's going to think about reproducing when they're thinking about surviving? Not too many people. But men bring survival to the table. If you want to survive, you better find you a group of men that know what they're doing. You can find a man that can fish, a man that can hunt, a man that can cook, and a man that can, that can fight. If you got those 4 elements, then maybe you got something. You got men around that can do each thing or more than one thing. It sounds pretty good to me. Got a nice little tribe there. Those guys ain't gonna starve. But the average woman can't hunt. The average woman can't fish. The average woman is not willing to kill somebody over a glass of water. Not the average woman. Some of these women will kill you over $1 over a Gucci bag, but not over no glass of water. But you wait till y'all get thirsty enough. You wait till your children are screaming because you ain't seen those, you ain't heard those screams. You ain't heard the screams of children, man, when they're so hungry, man, they can't even think straight. You here in America, you can walk into a supermarket and just pick what you want off the shelf. And if you got enough, you blessed enough to have enough money, you can buy whatever you want. There's some places, man, they don't have stuff like that on the shelves. They didn't have it. The Afghans, man, for a while they didn't have that. Palestinians, They wouldn't even let them in the stores. But my point, you think that can't happen in America? You think it ain't gonna happen in America? It's already here. It's already here. The brother, the homosexual brother, he had he quote unquote had studies that he never really produced, but he was orally talking about these studies that was showing that black women do worse when they get with black men. But I was saying, hey, black women historically do better when they get married to black men. Historically, if a black woman is doing bad because she got with a black man, maybe it got something to do with the type of man she picking. See, black women pick these dudes. They pick dudes that ain't about nothing, and then they want to go to a public forum and cry. Find somebody to listen to their story and cry about how men are doing them so wrong. If men are doing you so wrong all the time, maybe it's you. Maybe it's something in your personality or something in your DNA that's attracting these kind of cats to you, or something in you that's attracted to dudes like that. You upset. You upset because you being done wrong by all these men. You picking these men. You picking these men. You picking the men that are causing you the problem. And then they said, "Oh, all these men." She, another thing. So she said, "Oh, the reason why men are doing us so wrong is because some of us are making it like." I said, "Of course you are. You guys are raising these dudes. You guys are raising them. You single moms out here raising these dudes." She said something else stupid. She said, "Oh, we gotta have to raise them how to be men." How are you as a woman go? That's like me as a man. I'm gonna raise my daughter or my granddaughter or my great granddaughter. I'm gonna raise them to be uh, women. The best I can do is give them virtue. I can't raise them as no woman. I don't know how to do. No, I got a grandbaby right now. I don't go, man. I love her. We play. We do everything together. But when something comes to her below the waist, I don't have nothing to do with that. I go get my wife. That's her place to deal with that, not me. I don't touch that baby below the waist. It just don't happen. I'm not finna change no diapers. I'm not finna clean up nothing. I'm not nothing. And it's not because I don't love her. It's because that's not my place. I don't feel that a grown man should be around a female child below the waist. It just don't make no sense to me. But that's me. I ain't no super saint or nothing. It just mathematically don't make no sense to me. I can't show her, hey, here's how you do this. I don't even have what she has. So how am I gonna show her how to properly take care of it? That's like me. I got a motorcycle, but I'm telling the dude how to wax his car. He gonna say, you don't even have a car. Yeah, but I know what I'm doing. Just listen to me. How would I know how to wax a car if I ain't never had a car to wax? I ain't never waxed no car. Anyway, she said that women can raise boys into men, and I disagree. Only thing you can do is raise men to the height that they're gonna get to, and how they get to be men is being around other men. That's the only way you learn how to be a man is being around other men, because other men are gonna put you on blast. Other men are gonna other men are gonna show you where you are deficient at as far as manhood is concerned, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. Either you deal with it or you're gonna have to just stay away from real men. And that's the sad part of it. But it's the reality. Steel sharpens steel. Can't no woman sharpen no steel. But see, well, I talk truth here. I talk truth. That's why don't nobody want to watch none of these videos, man. Ain't nobody want to watch no video because they don't want to. I mean, I'm not saying other than my subscribers, they don't want to watch these videos because it's too much truth. Nobody don't want to see the truth. If you think black men are such an evil presence, then what are we doing to say that? Oh, but see, what they do is they'll pull out, oh, it's a black man that killed somebody last week. Okay, 1 in 10 million killed somebody, but that's all black men. Just like I asked the brother, he said, young Pharaoh is he's bad mouthing all black women. I said, when did he black? I never heard that. I said, when did he badmouth all black women? Well, he talked about his baby mama. I said, hey, brother, that's only one woman. How was that all women? Then he said, oh, well, he's talking about this other sister too. I said, that's 2 people. How is that all black women? How was that? And then when he ran from that to, well, he said all the black, so yeah, he talked about another sister, Saweetie, and he said women that have the fake hair and fake nails, the fake eyelashes or whatever. He talked about them. I said, but brother, how is that all black? Do all black women have fake eyes, and fake nails, and fake hair? No, they don't. So how can he be talking about all black women? He can't, right? That's just logic. I mean, that ain't me trying to trick him, right? That's just logic. But they wasn't about logic. They wasn't about truth. Truth wasn't the issue. It was just a place for hurt people to gather. It was a place for hurt people to gather and gang up on anybody passing by. And I was one of the people that was passing by. I think that we're going to need each other. I told you men bring survival to the table, right? With enough men around, you're going to eat, you're going to be protected, and you're going to survive. Okay? What do women bring to the table? Most women bring one thing to the table. If they're heterosexual, they bring one thing to the table, and that's reproduction. A lesbian don't even bring that to the table. I'm just being honest. At least a gay man can hunt, fish, or whatever, right? A lesbian don't even bring reproduction to the table. That makes this thing, it works now because you have a cardboard reality that things are okay. And I'm not saying there's no job for the lesbian. There's a job for the lesbian too. We need the lesbian too. We're gonna have to find something for her to do. But I'm saying she don't even bring reproduction to the table. So she got to find something else to do. She got to find something else to bring to the table. In a group setting. When it gets down to basic survival, see, when it gets down to basic survival, man, manners and respect and all that's going to go out the window. Law abiding and respectful, and how could you do that? Would you treat your mama like that? You ain't gonna be able to say that to nobody. If you do, you're gonna be wasting your time. Cannibalism will be the order of the day, and cannibalism is already here. Brother Clarence, we're talking about cannibalism. I mean, cannibalism is here. That's what they did to me. That's what they did to me on that station, on that live stream. They ate me. They ate my body. They ate me. They had me for dinner. Not literally, but they cannibalized me so that they could feel better about themselves. I wasn't even being adversarial to them. They was being adversarial to me, but they tried to flip it and make it like I was being adversarial to them. It's sad, but it's a lesson. Survival or reproduction. Survival or reproduction. If you're a woman, what you bringing to the table? You bringing reproduction to the table. When it gets down to when it gets down to straight survival, you bringing reproduction to the table. Now the question is, do you need to eat to survive, or do you need to reproduce to survive? Which one do you need to live another day? Which one do you need to live another day? Do you need sex or do you need food? Reproduction won't come into the situation until most of your other needs are met. Most of your other social needs are met. In a time where survival is maximal, your needs ain't gonna be met. Well, let me tell you like that. Not all your needs are gonna be met. You're gonna be looking to take care of your basic needs: food, shelter, clothing. Those are your basic needs: food, clothing, shelter, to survive. Without food, even with shelter, you're not gonna survive. And when I say food, I mean food and water. Food and water. If you have food, how you gonna protect the food that you have? How you gonna protect the land that you have? How you gonna protect the water that you have? How you gonna protect it? Can you see a group of women aren't locked arms trying to protect a barrel of water from a group of men, a group of hungry and thirsty men? Good night. Good night. That's why you're gonna need men. You're gonna need men around you. You're gonna need other men that have the same outlook as you have, and have the same cultural disciplines that you have to survive. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just telling the truth. If I tell you one lie, come and tell me that I'm telling you a lie. But I ain't telling you no lie. I'm telling you the truth. Women need men. Women need men. Period. Men need women, but women need men more. That's the reality of that situation. That's the reality. We can survive. Did you read Genesis? Did you read where Adam was in the garden by himself for a long time without nobody, He ate, he ate, he worked, he slept, he he tended his animals. He did everything by himself. He did everything by himself. He didn't have no help. The woman came along, never said she went out to the garden. She went to help him feed she didn't do nothing. She maintained the domicile or did whatever she did. She wasn't out there working with him. She bore his children. That's what she brought to the table. She bore his children. Brother Clarence, man, you talking crazy. See, that's why we don't want to listen to you. You talking crazy, man. You talking crazy. Am I? Am I? The coronavirus is here to stay. And I don't care if you get 50 booster shots. The coronavirus ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to be around here to stay. Why? Because they need that around to pump you full of this vaccine. It's a business. I'm not telling you to get it or not get it, but it is a business. People do make money when you every time they poke you in the arm, somebody's getting some money somewhere. So let's not be coy about it. That's the reality of the situation. For somebody out there, that poke is a business. And every time you get poked, they're going to get some money. The question is, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? I have stated the problems. What are we going to do? What can be done? How can we get a certain amount of people to try to have our lives be better? How can we do it? It's an uphill battle in most cases. It's an uphill battle because I'm talking about black people in particular. I think white people have displayed that they know when the chips get down, they know how to come together and as a tribe and try to work something out. I think almost everybody else has demonstrated that, except for us in America, black people in America. We are just out of our minds most of the time, and we don't want to come together. We hurt people, and we want to be in these circles of hurt and stay hurt and just throw rocks at anybody that comes close to that circle. And I'm saying you either gonna find a tribe or you gonna die. Period. Point blank. You either gonna have to find a tribe or you gonna die. If you don't want to be with no man, you don't have to be with no man. But there's an old saying: can't fight your enemy, you can't run from him, you can't do nothing to him. Gonna have to learn how to die well. Right? Can't beat your enemy no kind of way. You can't overtake him, overpower him. You can't defeat him in no fashion. Must learn how to die well. Why do we need to learn how to die well when we can learn how to live well if we just have some unity and put some see, we got to put our egos down. We got to put a lot of these egos down. But social media platforms have promoted us having these huge egos. I got 1 million followers. I got 2 million followers. I got 10 million followers. I got 20 million followers. So you only somebody when you got people following your social media page. And you only gonna have that many people following you when you ain't talking about nothing controversial. When you start talking about stuff for real, you don't get no million followers. I mean, no, nothing against people like KS. I'm just saying when you really start hitting home, you ain't gonna get that many followers. You got to be talking about black women really badly. You got to really be treating them really bad to get followers up that high. See, I mean, that's just reality of it. I like KS, you know what I'm saying? But his lane is breaking it down to black women and making it play. Okay, cool. But a lot of people trying to do the same thing, man. It's that lane ain't that big. That's that man's lane and a couple other cats. Let them have that lane. So the rest of us got to do something else, man. The rest of us got to do something else. Anyway, I'm just your brother. I just want to come on live stream, man. If anybody have any questions, or anybody wants to talk, or anybody wants to listen to me talk about certain things, here I am. I told you in the beginning, survival versus reproduction. The men bring survival to the table, and women bring reproduction to the table. The men don't survive. Men, with men, enough men in your tribe, you're gonna survive. Enough heads together, you're gonna survive. Enough women in you might not survive. You might not, because woman can't hunt every day. Woman can't fish every day. Woman can't kill every day. A woman doesn't have the average woman. I'm not saying that. A lot of women do have. A lot of women are, uh, you know, uh, gutter type people thinking, or they just can do some heinous stuff. But the average woman can't, and can't on a regular basis. And if a woman is like that, is that the kind of woman you want in your camp? You want a woman that could take your head off in your camp? She can take heads off. I mean, the average man is gonna say, "Well, damn, if this girl could take a head off, she might could take my head off. I better put her out. She can go somewhere else and take heads over there." It's a catch-22. It's just sad. I'm thinking most men are gonna choose survival over reproduction. They're gonna choose, if they had to pick a team, like pick up basketball, and they have to pick a team, and it's women and men, and it's just about survival. Most guys are gonna pick men. I think even women would pick men. They would even women would pick men before they pick the women. That's my opinion. But if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Survival versus reproduction. What do you think? What do you think? Which one would win out with most people? You think the average woman, if she had an average man, if he had to pick a team of people to go and try to survive for a year, and they know they had to catch their own food and everything, which one do you think the average man would do? Would the average man pick men, or would he pick men and women? Same thing with women. Which one would women do? If women had to pick between survival and reproduction, when it's just survival, basically survival on the line, I think the average woman would pick all men. They would be the only woman in that group. Like I said before, man, men bring survival to the table, and women bring reproduction to the table. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. If I'm wrong, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm about to end this live stream because I said what I had to say, and none of y'all wanted to hear it. So that's cool. I ain't even tell anybody I was doing this live stream. So it's all good. But remember, survival versus reproduction. Which one would most people choose? Survival or reproduction? Would the average man, if he had to pick a crew of people to survive for a year with, would he pick men or would he pick women? And the same thing for a woman. If the average woman had to survive for a year, catch their own food, cook their own food, get their own water, which one would they pick? Would they pick a man full of... I see you, Liz. I see you, Liz. I know I got my hardcores. Uh, but well, hold on. Hey, let me see if you come up, Liz. Can I put you? I didn't put the link up here, because if you don't want to come up, that's cool too, Liz. I understand. No problem. I did this on an impromptu thing. But anyway, yeah. So I was just talking about survival versus reproduction. If you got something to say about it, click on. If not, hey, I'm just gonna keep moving on. If you got a minute, well, if you got a minute, Liz, come on, click in. Finish the race. I picked being a survivor, right? I'm sure. I think almost everybody would, right? I think almost everybody would. I think almost everybody would pick surviving over trying to reproduce. I mean, reproduction comes in a far second compared to actually having food in your stomach. Oh, okay. I ain't gonna put that up, Liz. I appreciate you though. Yeah, that's a lot of hair to watch. So yeah, okay. Go ahead and handle your business, girl. Just keep listening if you want. Anyway, um, yeah. So I talked about survival versus the reproduction, and like I said, I just think that that's the reality. But in America, because everything is it's a cardboard existence, meaning it's not the reality. Like I said, the coronavirus has shown that it's the holes in the system here, and there's going to be another run on Costco. There's going to be another run on these grocery stores. There's going to be another. So that's why the time is now to stock up your food. And that time is now to stock up the TP. The time is now to get your affairs in order, because you never know when this thing is going to turn out again. Nobody saw this whole coronavirus thing coming. Nobody saw it coming. We were all sitting on the sideline saying, damn, what happened? What happened over there? But nobody knew. And then when it came here, they were telling everybody they had pneumonia. They told me I had pneumonia. Oh, you got pneumonia. I went to the doctor. They told me, you got pneumonia. They have a big needle about this long. Now, it's about 18, maybe 20 inches long. Well, I'm going to tell you what they had to do to me. There's a needle about 20 inches long, and I had so much fluid in my lungs. They put that thing in your back, and they squeegee the water out of your lungs. I had to do it twice. I couldn't move almost. I couldn't walk. I was so weak I couldn't walk. And I always had this water in my lungs. I was breathing. I went to the hospital. I went to the hospital about 5 times in like 3 months. And they kept telling me, oh, you got pneumonia. You got walking pneumonia. But this is before everybody knew. We talking about November through December of 2020. They were telling people they had pneumonia. They didn't know it was coronavirus. But now we know. Now we know it's coronavirus. Now what? Now what? It's going to be another run on these. That's why I say it's going to be a run on everything. Keep you some money in the bank, but take you some money and make sure you get you items around the house. I had a teacher, professor. He taught me, and he said, always wear you some jewelry. And I said, why? He was teaching us. He said, because you never know when you got to get out the country. You never know when you got to make some moves, and you need something on you that's not cash, that you could sell quick, that you can have you some money to go do something. So he said, always make sure you got something like that. You don't necessarily got to be Mr. T with a whole bunch of jewelry on you, but you at least could have you some jewelry. So because things are going to get bad. I wish I was not the bearer of bad news, but I'm just doing the math. I'm a mathematician, and I'm just doing the math. And if you look at the math, if you add it up, you got all these breakouts happening. Eventually, all these breakouts are going to meet in one place. Vaccinated or not, it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. And remember, I talked about the mark of the beast. When you're going to have to actually show in New York, you got to show that you've been vaccinated to even go into a movie theater, to go to a restaurant, or to get on the train. You have to, there's a little app on your phone. You got to show that you've been vaccinated, or there's a little card that you got to carry. You got to show that you've been vaccinated before they let you in anywhere indoors. You can't do nothing indoors They're making that law right now. How are we going to get around it? We ain't. We ain't. See, we got some lifestyle decisions to make. See, for me, I guess I ain't going to New York. I guess I'm not going to New York. New York will probably be off my thing, but hey, you know, I made it this far. I've been to New York one time in my life. I made it this far, so I'm just gonna have to keep going. But what are we looking at? What are we looking at? We're going to have to tribe up. If you think you're not going to have a tribe, you are crazy. That's like I was trying to tell these other women. Oh, we don't need no man. We don't need this. We don't need no man. Okay. You're going to need somebody. And those people probably going to have a man. So you're going to need somebody. Look at Dr. Dre's daughter. Dr. Dre's oldest daughter. Dr. Dre's oldest daughter. Look at Dr. Dre's wife, ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife. Dr. Dre's oldest daughter is out here living in California, homeless. She's homeless. She living out of her SUV because she went most of her life with this man giving her money. And finally, the man just got tired of it. He realized, I'm not making you no better. I'm not making you no better. You keep sponging off of me and you're not getting your life together. You just sitting back waiting for me to give you this money. No. I was just listening to a thing today. It said the Vanderbilts had so much money. The government was trying to borrow money from in the Great Depression. The Vanderbilts, the government was trying to borrow money from the Vanderbilts. They was trying to borrow money from the Vanderbilts. Now the Vanderbilts are broke because their children did not practice the philosophy of pushing that wealth forward, retaining and pushing that forward. They just spent. But see, that man did all the work. They needed that man. They was connected to that man. See, everybody gonna have to be connected to a man. You're gonna have to be connected to a man somewhere. Either his philosophy teaching or his work ethic. You're going to have to be connected to this man. Oh, Dr. Dre's daughter, she's saying, hey, I'm out here in the street and it's his fault. How is it Dr. Dre's fault that his daughter is out there in the street? Because she don't want to work. She don't want to do nothing. Now she got to work for DoorDash. I think they said she's working for DoorDash. But you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean, sooner or later, you're going to have to realize, man, you got to do what you got to do. But she was connected to that man. That's what made her life better, was being connected to Dr. Dre. Just like his wife. She's going to get $300,000 a month. What person needs $300,000 a month to survive? See, but we think in terms of survival. They think in terms of, thriving. She's thinking, I can't thrive in this environment. She ain't trying to survive. She's trying to thrive. So she needs this man to give her $300,000 a month. If he dropped dead today, she is in effing trouble. That money is gone. Because once he's dead, he don't have to pay her a dime anymore. What's she going to do then? The comedian Earthquake. He paid his wife 2 years early. He's paying child support for his son, paid the whole, when you pay child support, they give you a total amount. This is what you pay. This is what you're going to pay. These are the amount of payments you're going to make. He had that total. The man said, hey man, I'm in the entertainment business. I don't know what I'm paying. So he just will pay it early. He said, I might get sick. Something might happen. I won't be able to pay this. Let me just pay it off. He paid it 2 years early. The girl took the money and blew it. And then she went to the press and was telling people he made them homeless. How did I make you homeless? I gave you the money, exact amount of money you were supposed to get. You were supposed to do what you're supposed to do with it. If you ain't gonna do it, give me the boy, send him to me. I'll take care of him. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. See, you gonna need a man. I don't care what they say. You gonna need a man. And anybody saying you don't need a man, they crazy. Even me, I'm a man. I need a man. I have my professor, my teacher. I have other men in my life, but that was a man who was close to me, my martial arts instructor. We called him the professor because that was the rank he had at that time. He's, of course, a grandmaster at this point, but we affectionately called him the professor. But he not only taught us martial arts, he taught us so much about life because he could see we were trying to be men, but we had gaps in our understanding. And he tried to put reality in those gaps for us. I got a question out there because I'm asking, do you think that a woman can teach a man how to be a man? And do you think a woman can teach a woman how to be, a woman can teach a man how to be a man? Or do you think a man can teach a woman how to be a woman? Let me give you my interpretation. Like I said, there was a sister on that live stream that I had out there. And she said, oh yeah, all we got to do is we got to teach our young boys how to be men. How are you going to teach the young man how to be a man? You're not. You're going to have to, you can only teach him how to be a right guided person. You can teach him virtue. That's all you can give a person of the opposite sex, virtue. I can't teach I got a granddaughter. I cannot teach that girl how to be no woman. I can't do it. I can only teach her how to be a good person. And then a woman has to come into her life and teach her how to be a woman. Other women gonna have to do that. I can't do it. Just like a man. This is my opinion. I know there's gonna be some dude. My mama came and my mama did everything for me, and I gave my mama a gift on Father's Day. Okay, I got it. Yeah. But that's not the reality of most people. Most women cannot teach a man how to be a man. I don't care what the woman, she may be a good mom, but she cannot teach you how to be a man. That's my opinion. And if you want to be a man, you got to be around men because the men are going to show you up. Men are going to show you where you're weak at. And either you're going to work on it or you're going to walk away and go run back and be around women so because women will not tell each other. And I'm sorry about this, Liz, but I'm telling the truth. Women most of the time will not tell each other about each other's weaknesses. They won't say to you, hey, you know, not unless they're really tight friends with each other. Most women will not tell each other, hey, this is where you're weak at. If you get this strong, you're gonna be a better person. But men don't do it like that. Men will just attack you when you're weak at. They'll tell you you're too soft. You gave that girl too much money, or they will tell you where you soft at, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to correct it. That's the reality of that. That's the reality of that. Anyway, most men have to learn how to be men from men, and most women have to learn how to be women from women. I think all men and all women have to learn from same sex. But getting back to reproduction and survival, in a time where Black people are so spread out, we're so far away from each other mentally and spiritually. We're so far away from each other. How are we going to survive? How are we going to survive in this situation? Let me see what my girl said. Hold on. Most women don't want to hear the truth. They rather you lie to them or keep silent. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, unfortunately, and it's sad because Sometimes you want to tell somebody something, but you know they're not gonna receive it right. So you have to just be quiet. At least most men do. Especially if it's somebody like your wife or your girlfriend or something like that. You got to just be quiet. You can't say nothing, because if you do, they're gonna take it the wrong way, or they just not gonna they're not gonna receive it well, and it's gonna put the relationship in jeopardy. So most men don't say nothing. See, this is what happens too in most long-term relationships, and how they ended up breaking up is because a issue comes up that a man have. It might be sexual, it might be spiritual, it might be emotional, it might be just her conduct. It might be something about her that he has an issue with, but he thinks, okay, I can't tell her now. I'm gonna wait until later to tell her. Okay, so he waits a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and the situation gets worse. And instead of saying something to the girl, he don't say nothing to her, and it start festering in his system. He start festering in his system. So now you're going 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Now you have a disdain for this person. You start building up a disdain for the person, and now other people start coming into your circle, and your eyes are open and wider to look at other people, right? So then they start having an affair. This is how it happens. They start having an affair. All affairs, in my opinion, all affairs have to do with unresolved issues. They're just unresolved issues in the marriage. Something that the man or something that the woman wants to say that they don't feel comfortable saying, so they don't say nothing, and they end up building this resentment, and then they end up acting out on that resentment. That, in my opinion, is what typically happens. That's, in my opinion, what typically happens. Um, so anyway, uh, they have an affair. Once the affair gets found out, the other person gets hurt and says, "You did this to me." And so here's what happens with, I don't know, men do this too, but mostly women do this. They act like they were perfect. Like the man went out to have an affair just to go out and have an affair. There wasn't no underlying situation. And that's the problem that you got to get them to understand. Hey, wait. If a dude is sleeping, all around on you, if he is always with other chicks, that means that there is something that you are doing that's an issue for him that's not being addressed. And so he is scared to address it with you. It's easier to just go and have somebody else be in a try to recreate that situation with someone else. But that never works, because now it's that other problem. That person is going to have issues that's unresolved, and you can't fix those issues, and it just snowballs into it's just a big mess. So the best bet is to either try to resolve the issue with the first person, or just leave. That way you got to worry about nothing. You got to worry about nothing. But let's talk about surviving. How will women survive if women are left alone? How would they have to survive? How? I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes. How are they gonna survive? Okay, they're gonna survive how? If they have to catch their own food, probably not going. They're probably not gonna do too well. If they have to cook their own food, maybe they do okay. If they have to catch their own fish, maybe not do so well. If they have to cook it, maybe. How about if they have to protect the flock? How about if a group of women have to protect the horde, protect the community from an advancing horde of men that's hungry and they want to just run through the women? How about that? How are women gonna do in that situation? How are women gonna do when you have to have when you gonna have a barrel of water to last you for a whole week, and everybody in the community has to drink out of that water. They got to bathe out of that water. They got to wash out of that water. They got to cook out of that water. Who's going to be there to make sure that that water gets distributed evenly? Women? No. What the average woman will do, and forgive me, Liz, that what the average woman will do is give most of the water to the children. But that's wrong. You don't give most of the water. You give some of the water to the children. You give most of the water to the men, because the men need their strength to go out and fight, hunt, and fish, and even cook. I remember one time I was talking to one of my aunts, man. One of my aunts was telling me about my grandfather, and my grandfather and my father and my aunt. There was 9 of them, 9 siblings, plus a mother and a father. And so my grandfather had went to work one day, and as he was going to work, my grandmother told him, "I'm gonna make you a blueberry pie." They was poor as dirt, but she had saved up enough money to get the stuff to make him a blueberry pie. Because he worked hard, man. He was a hard-working dude, man. Man, women back in the day, man, they were just like that, man. They were just like, we ain't got $1 to our name, but I see you working hard, man. Let me at least give you this pie. So she made him the pie. So she made the pie. The children was begging her all day for a piece of the pie. So she said, "Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little piece of it." So she gave one a piece. Then the next one was begging for a piece. Then the next one was begging for a piece. The next one was begging for a piece. The next one begging for a piece. The next one begging for a piece. Before she turned around, the pie was gone. It was gone. My grandfather comes home from work whistling. Whistling. You hear me? Whistling. He knows he got that blueberry pie coming, man. He was like, man, he was probably working all day, man. He was probably the best employee on the job that day, right? Because he knew he had that blueberry pie waiting for him at home. Man gets home, say, "Where's my pie?" She goes, "Oh, I gave the pie to his children." Man, my grandfather hit the roof. And so my aunt, who was the baby at the time, saw this, saw how he blew a gasket, and he just walked out of the house. He didn't come back till later in that evening because he was so upset. And my aunt was saying to me, why was he upset? She knew she had the children there. And so what's wrong with the children eating the pie? And I'm trying to explain to her, that man probably had that pie on his mind all day. And, he didn't have no job. We talking about black people in the 30s and the 40s. Ain't no sitting behind no desk. You out there with a pick. You on that railroad. You working. You working. Ain't no. But see, my only job my aunt had was ever been sitting behind a desk. She ain't never sweat on nothing, right? So anyway, she couldn't wrap her mind around why he was so upset that he didn't get that pie, that big piece of chicken. She just, her mind was, but that man, you gotta see what a lot of women don't realize. You gotta motivate men. Men need motivation. Men are like horses. You gotta have that carrot in front of the horse to make the horse walk. Men are like horses. They need motivation. Every once in a while, you got to motivate a man. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Somebody else will motivate the man. And I'm not saying necessarily a woman, but they fall in with the wrong crowd, or they get some unsavory friends. Somebody will motivate this man. Somebody. So you, as the woman, your woman is supposed to be the motivator for the man. You motivate him with your beauty and your personality and your, how you treat this man. That's what motivated me. So she motivated him, right, to work all day and come home on time and don't play around. Don't mess around with your friends. Don't mess around with your friends going to get a drink or nothing. Come on home. So came on home. And, we ain't got no cell phones in the 30s and the 40s. Say, hey, I didn't cook that pie, so don't worry. You got to find out when you get there, right? But my point is, men are going to men need to eat first. Men need to eat that piece of chicken. A man need to eat, and you got men around. That's why you think if you watch the Lion Kingdom, you watch the lion shows about the lions, who eats first? The male lions eat first. The most dominant male eats first. Second dominant eats, and then the women who actually hunted and caught the meal, they get what's left. They get what's left. And then the cubs gets what's left after that. They get what's left after that. That's how I go. And that's how I go in the animal kingdom. That's how I go and that's how I go mostly. See, we ain't had to play the survival game here in America. See, you ain't never had to worry about, you go to the water fountain, you go to your tap water and you turn it on, it just comes right out of the tap. You got the confidence of knowing that it's been cleaned, it's got fluoride in it, it's been homogenized some type of way. It's been cleaned. You're safe feeling like that. You jump in the bathtub with it, whatever, right? See, but it's gonna get to the point. It's gonna get like China, where you gotta pay $10 for a loaf of bread. You gotta pay $7 or $8 for a gallon of water. Right now, you can buy a gallon of water for $1. I'm in California. You can buy a gallon of water for $1 in California. It's gonna come where you $7, $8 for a little gallon of water. It's coming. It's coming. The question is, are you and me, are we prepared for it? And are we learning how to work together? See, we got to learn how to work together so that we can save more people. Because if we all gonna be alone, we're gonna all die alone. But if we all work together, some of us are gonna walk through it. Some of us are. All of us are not gonna walk through this thing, but some of us will. Some of us will. And that's the point of this whole thing. Survival or reproduction. Men bring survival to the table, women bring reproduction to the table. But when resources get scarce, reproduction ain't gonna be an issue. Reproduction is not gonna be an issue. Survival is gonna be the main issue. Most men will not even think about reproduction until they got a full belly, their feet are warm, and they can think straight. Then they may consider reproduction. But until then, not going to be an issue for them. And if we don't if we, black people in particular, don't learn how to work together, man, we're going to be, I'm sad to see what's going to happen to us. I'm sad because I don't want to see our children crying. Like in Poland, the children literally crying because they just can't get nothing to eat. And we don't even have to go to Poland. We can go to Africa right now. Children crying, Somali children crying because their stomach hurts because the stomach is eating itself. The body is literally eating itself because it has no nourishment nowhere. It's a sad state of affairs. But hey, that's what I think. This is my opinion. I'm trying to hope and help us get together no matter where we are in the world. I'm going to try and keep trying to talk some sense into us so that we can see that we need each other. The men need the women and the women need the men. And, you know, we need each other. We need each other. So we're going to have to figure this thing out some type of way. Anyway, if you still around, Liz, finish the race VL. I want to have my sister come back on and talk about her move to Africa. You know, whatever part she wants to talk about, have her come on and talk about her move to Africa, because I think that's, well, to me, it's a very interesting story. And, you know, I think we need to see that we as Black people, we think a lot of different ways. You know, even though we might have the same type of, you know, cultural understanding, we still have very different viewpoints of what's home and what's not home, and what's good and what's not good, or what we got to do, or whatever, what's good for us personally. Anyway, I'm gonna stay on you, Liz, to get you to tell that story. So, anyway, I had a busy week, and I'm sure you did too. So, couldn't make it happen this week, but maybe one of these upcoming weeks we can make it happen. Okay, I will let you know. I will let you know. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here because I've been talking and talking and talking. Appreciate you, Liz, at least listening to me rub my mouth. There's usually ain't nobody out here listening, but that's okay because I just recorded. Nobody gonna be able to say, "Hey, there's nobody who was telling us about this." No, there was somebody telling you about it. Y'all just didn't want to listen. And when I specifically say y'all, I'm talking about Black men. They really don't want to hear me talking because I really get into them for a lot of the ways they think, but that's okay. Anyway, what else? Oh, live stream this Sunday. I forgot what time it is. Is it 12 o'clock? It's 11:30 Pacific. 11:30 Pacific time. And I don't know what the topic will be. I put the topic in. I don't know what it is right now, but we will be doing one this Sunday, 11:30 Pacific time, should be. So that's, I was gonna do one last week, but you know, of course, I got the food poisoning. I couldn't even stand up that day. But anyway, and that's it. Till then, take care of yourself. Appreciate you, my sister Liz. Finish the race VL. Go check her page out. You see her right down here. Finish the race VL. Go check her page out. She's got a lot of good content too. So anyway, and Liz, if you can hear me, if you got time on Sunday, I'd appreciate it. If you got time, if you're not gonna be at church or whatever, hey, if you got a minute, chime on in. You know what I'm saying? I you know what I mean? Anyway, and anybody else out there, I'll put the link out there, and anybody else that wants to chime in, come on and chime in. Anyway, I'll see you later too, sis. All right, so y'all, let me know what y'all gonna do, and I'll see y'all later. And take care of yourselves. And oh yeah, never be the aggressor. All right, y'all. Peace.